All right, welcome kids, welcome to another special episode. Here you guys are, there I am, see me, I'm cute, okay. So, today is Tuesday, and I'm wearing a t-shirt that some of you guys might recognize. I'm not telling you who it is, because they know okay, I'll tell you. It's Iron Horse Garage, those boys in Napa, Idaho, where I was born. Consequently, my sister was born there in that same place. Not as a consequence of me being born, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, we have a very special episode for you kids today. So stay tuned. See you in just a second. And scene. I like doing that. Scene. Okay, so where are we going today? Well, today we're going to head from my favorite grocery store. It's back there. An auto parts store. This is where my auto parts girl is right here. I'm not telling you her name. She's pretty good. She knows what she's doing. I've been going in here a long time. In fact, I ever tell you a story about these guys? There'll be other customers and stuff in there, and they'll just make me wait because, well, they know I'm not in a hurry. And people are like, "Don't you get upset?" And they'll put their hand over the phone, whoever they're talking to, like, "No, I've known him a long time already. He's not in a hurry. He can wait." And I'll be like, "Yeah, I can wait. I'm not in a big hurry." So anyway, it's kind of a joke. She never makes me wait though. She always works really good. Her daughter actually works here now. I'm not telling you any more about it. Okay. So, why is this episode special? Well, not only is it because we're driving around a 57 or in Hawaii, but, and it is also your car quiz and a story time video. We are going to go to a requested destination today. I haven't been by this place in a while, and I think I remember how to get there. So we're going to be leaving this spot in Kaului down to earth. On this auto parts store, we're going to go out down the highway, down Pilani Highway, and then we'll probably drop onto South Kihei Road, and we'll run South Kihei Road down through all the traffic and stuff. And then down South Kihei Road, there's a little, you'll see all these little shops. It's a place called Triangle Square. I know, or something like that. No, Triangle Square is over here. This is the place called the Triangle in Kihei, and there's a tattoo parlor in there called Maui Tattoo and Piercing. And one of our as our collective community subscribers here in this group, who also is a subscriber of my sister's channel, her name is Phylliss. Her nephew started this place in 2004. So we are going to meander over there, and we get there, we're going to see what we can see. Because she asked me if we could go drive by and see it in one of my videos. So I thought to myself, why not make the very next video the one that we go do this in? What do you guys think? Good idea? I thought so too. So, oops, probably should leave the switch on. Your car quiz questions, kids. Pink rods. And I already filmed this once already. Not driving, this is before, this was yesterday, I filmed it yesterday, but for some reason, technical difficulties, self-inflicted, I didn't have one of my mics on, and I just tested it just now, so they are functioning. Hold a second. Spectacles. Engaged, here we go. I'm gonna go over here by the four-wheel drive shop. This is the back door. This is IMM, Intense Motorsports Maui. See right there on the sign? You can see it. You can now. This van. Tires, rims, lifts, whatever. IMM, that's them. That's those guys right over there. Bunch of weirdos. Not really. They like to make a lot of lifted trucks. If you're into that sort of thing. Wow, look at that Jeep. You guys can't see it. Anyway. So, pink rods. Pink rods were for a small block Chevrolet. They measure 5.7 inches in length. And they fit all small block Chevrolets except for the 400, which that is ironically or incidentally 5.565 inches factory rod length. Everything from the 265 to the 350 all had 5.7 rods. The pink rods were slated specifically for race engines. Nah, not really, but factory race engines like an LT1 or a 302 or any of the high performance engines. You could also order them over the counter. Why were they were shot peened and all that stuff. They were all when you bought a set of them, rumor has it when you bought a set of them, they were all weighed roughly the same. If you could buy a set, they all weighed roughly the same within like a gram or two or a half a gram or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but they were shot peened and they were all like hand picked out of the best rods. And they were painted pink. Yep. Actually, it's not really much of a pink. It's more of a, do you remember Strawberry Quick, kids, when you guys were kids? Do you remember Strawberry Quick? I do. You take milk and you put Strawberry Quick in a glass. Well, if you super diluted it and just put a little bit of Quick in there, it was kind of like a pinkish white color. That's kind of the color they were. I'm sure when they were first brand new, I mean, when they came out, I was like, I wasn't born yet. And so, you know, you could still buy them from the factory. I never bought a brand new set from a dealer to know for sure how bright they are when they're new, but I have bought several engines where you pull the pan off and you look up in there and you're like, hey, those connecting rods are like not metal colored. They have a slight color. I mean, but most of those have been hot tanked and cleaned so many times, it'd be hard to tell. They are just regular forged I-beams, but they had good hardware and whatever. But that's them, pink rods. They actually were pink. Let's see, what else? There's probably more details to them. There's no point in getting like super specific, and I don't know if I would remember all the details 100% to be able to regurgitate back out here on a video. So, what should your next car quiz question be about? That's a good question. This is for some of you GM guys. What was the W27 option? And what vehicle was it on? That's what I want to know right now. W27. You Dodge guys won't get this. You'll give another question later. Maybe you will get it. Maybe you will. What is the W27 option? It was on your build sheet. If you know what a build sheet is, your RPO code was W27, just like LS7 or F41 or ZR1 or whatever. Those are all RPO codes for different things. This is W27. Okay, now for story time. I've been debating on which story to tell you, or a series of stories. We're gonna go by Walmart and Home Depot. Home Depot's on your right, Walmart's on your left. Panda Express. There's Wally World over there. Okay, so. Oh look, there's a guy with a shopping cart. That reminds me of another story. Maybe I shouldn't tell you a story about being a destructive teenager with a car. Maybe I should. All right. No, I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah, I will, why not? I'll tell you. It's not a very long story. Anyway, so when I was in high school, I used to like push shopping carts with my car. Did you guys ever do that in parking lots? So you'd push shopping carts, you'd get the shopping cart in front of your car and you'd be in a parking lot late at night when no one's around, there's no cops around, there's no cars in the parking lot obviously, and you just push it. And then right before it hits like a curb or something, you stop and just let it coast into a curb and just let it like tumble. So that was all really fun. What was really, really fun to do was to like load it with stuff, like trash, plastic bottles, stuff you could find. And then just like run it into stuff and have it blow everywhere. Which, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, and I never thought about cleaning any of that stuff up. It was just fun to see how fast I could push a cart in a parking lot. And trust me, in a parking lot, if you got a quick car, that shopping cart can develop some speed. And it can also do some damage to the cart. When you let go, that sucker will just boom and then tumble. If you're really good at it, you can take it, if you have a parking lot that's raised and there's a street below, you can launch it and see how far, once it hits the curb, how far it does somersaults in the air and how far across the street, or if you can get it across the street. That's also a fun trick too. Don't be going and doing all that stuff. Don't do that. I don't want to give you guys any. Your Uncle Brant children is not condoning any of that kind of activity. I would never condone any of that. Don't you ever do it. Yeah, go do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm serious. Don't do it. No. Don't go do it. Because nowadays you just get sued for anything. It's destruction of private property, what it is. And that's not good. So that's never a good thing to do. But it sure was fun. That was a dumb story. I need to give you guys another story. So, how about this story? When I was in high school, I told you the story about the truck and the driveline breaking, and I traveled between one high school to another. So, that is true. I used to travel from my high school, McWeen High School, to Reed High School, which is in Sparks, and it was along McCarran Road. And that's where the drive shaft come out of my pickup, pole vaulted it and all that kind of stuff. And I got towed there and went to my class. Well, when I was a junior, there was a bunch of seniors, and my auto shop teacher was really good at helping us learn how to diagnose vehicles. So diagnostic stuff is like, hey, this car's not running right. Basically, it was a shop ticket that was written, and it would be like, mechanic A says, this, mechanic B says that, based on this issue with the car, what's actually the problem. The customer states the car won't start, or the customer says, I had an engine put in a car and the air conditioning doesn't work ever since then. So you'd have to diagnose that kind of stuff. Or it could be, all sorts of stuff. I hit a curb and the car pulls to the right, those kinds of things. So in high school, back when I was in high school in the 80s and 90s, they had a thing called the Plymouth Troubleshooting Competition. And Plymouth is was a branch of Mopar, if you guys remember that stuff. Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge. So Plymouth sponsored a troubleshooting competition for high schools. And basically, it was high school seniors. They were trying to give scholarships to go to technical schools, was what I remember. It may not have been true, but that's what I remember. As a junior, I couldn't go. Even though the students and the teachers wanted me to go, and the class wanted me to go. Hold on, I gotta put something over the top of this camera because the sun is starting to bake, you guys. Can you see? Okay. I gotta do something because this thing shuts off when it gets really hot. There's a car down a ditch. Anyway, so I couldn't go even though the class wanted me to go. But while we were there, the teacher was gone and we had a substitute teacher. We know substitute teachers. I'm not saying anything bad about substitute teachers. I'm just saying they don't know the classroom. They don't know the dynamics of the classroom when they come in as a sub. So, most teachers back then just kind of, I hate to say, just kind of let the class do what they were doing. But the class, as an auto shop class, we knew what we were supposed to do. We had projects and things we were doing. And so the idea was, that Charlie probably just told them, hey, the kids know what they're doing, just leave them alone and they'll go do their projects, leave them out in the shop. If you hear anybody screaming like they're dying, do what you gotta do, but in the meantime, we're pretty much self-sufficient. Now, it's probably my fault. I don't know if it's 100% my fault, but I'll go ahead and take the blame for it. So, knowing that Charlie was gone, and knowing we had a substitute teacher, and knowing me, and I'm always looking for something fun to do. So the way the class was laid out, there was a giant shop, and off to the shop was a classroom that flanked it, but it was a concrete CMU wall in between it, with a man door at the front top edge. And at the back of the shop was a big garage door, and the back of the classroom was a big garage door. Behind that garage door was a giant bullpen were parts cars and stuff, and was stuff out there, and we parked. And then outside of that was the big parking lot for the school in the back. And there was like a pool on the right, the swimming pool for the school, and then it was like a long, big parking lot that went down and around, and then you got on the main road. So I decided that we were gonna like have guys in the shop working and making noise, and then some of us were gonna be outside acting up. So the teacher, the substitute teacher, was in the other classroom doing whatever he was doing, not bothering us. Door was closed, and we were out in here, and we had the garage door closed. So I decide, I think I was in the Chevelle? I was in one of my cars. I think it was like the Satellite, maybe. I had a 68 Sport Satellite with a 383. Had really high gears, like 254 gears or something. It was crazy. So that thing would do a one-wheel burnout in first, second, and third gear. And when it was in drive, it was going so fast, the car would actually go slower with the tires spinning, and it wouldn't catch up. So I decided I'd back up towards the garage door, and I just let it go. And I did this one burnout that took off from the garage door, out over some speed bumps, and then down the back of the parking lot, and then on the main high road, and then that was it. I left for the day. So Monday rolls around, because that was on a Friday. Monday rolls around. That was one of the many things we did that day. I'll tell you about the other ones later, but Monday rolls around. No, I'll tell you about those now. So before doing the burnouts, because I knew I was going to leave early, because the teacher wasn't going to keep, he'd already taken attendance, and I had a 2-hour auto shop class. I wasn't really that concerned about him taking attendance again, which he didn't. We had cars that were given to us donated, like taxis and stuff. So the underclassmen, like sophomores and freshmen, had something to work on. We had other stuff. Well, they were parked next to each other and up against a brick wall, you know, and at that time, you know, big lifted four-wheel drives were kind of the craze. Bonus points if you see where this is going. Oh, I missed my turn. I'll turn down here. Anyway, we were doing the, some of the guys had some big four-wheel drives, a lot of them. Powder-coated suspensions on 35s, like, I think at the time, 40s, 35s or 40s was the big tire. Super Swampers, Gumbo Mudders or something, I forget what tires they were. I think they were Super Swampers. The TSL Bogger I don't think was really big then, but a lot of guys had Super Swampers. And so, you know, of course these two cars are parked side by side, and monster trucks were kind of popular. They weren't flying through the air like crazy things like they do now, like Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger, where he like launches, you know, 50 feet in the air. This was like climbing over cars and stuff. So, of course, what are we gonna do with some of these cars? Well, yeah, you know, the bigger trucks just kind of climbed up on these cars, so the smaller trucks could climb up on these cars. Right? I mean, it's fair. I'm not really thinking about how it would affect the underclassmen. We didn't care if they were working on stuff or not. They were freshmen and sophomore. What do we care? I was just thinking about myself, if I'm perfectly honest. Which, that's a lesson, kids. Think about other people other than yourself, because it's okay for you to just want to have a lot of fun, but it's got to be fun for other people too. It can't just be just for you. I mean, it can, but then that's kind of selfish. Can I beat this street sweeper out? Oh, nope, we got traffic. So anyway, that was Friday. I left, took off to the burnout, left. Friday rolls around, and as I am in class, we're all in the classroom, Charlie's back, and he goes through about how great, you know, how great and awesome the students did, and I don't think we won, I forget. We didn't win, we just like were, you know, they just went, and I was proud of them for going. After he's done telling us about the program and kind of giving us our assignments, he kind of gets on all of us. And it wasn't like, you know, you're in trouble, I'm gonna like suspend all you guys and threatening. It was more like, I'm really disappointed in you boys. And that was like, it should have been heartbreaking, but it was more like, well, at least we're not getting in trouble. But at the same time, yeah, I kind of felt bad a little bit for, you know, I kind of egged it on, maybe a lot, maybe a little bit. And, you know, and afterwards he's like, you know, destruction of property or whatever. He's like, look, we were going to use those cars for these undergrad kids. Now we got to like throw them away. We're like, okay, sorry, you know, don't do that again, he says. And then he kicks everybody out. He's like, hey, you, hold on a second. Which he did that a lot to me. Wait, Jackson, hold on. All right. And everybody looks back at me and they're kind of giggling as they go out because they know I should be the one getting in trouble because, like, I'm the one that I kind of instigated it, you know. Other people participated, but, I mean, let's just face it. It was just for my entertainment. I mean, that's what Cameron used to do. Everybody thought he followed me around and like I was the leader. That wasn't necessarily the truth. It was more like they were just waiting around to see what I would get in trouble with. You know, it's just entertainment. So this is another one of those. So everybody leaves, they're all outside, nobody's waiting around, and some guys tried to listen in. He's like, hey, close the door. Say, shut the door. And he walks up and he's like, I know that burnout, that one big long one that goes over the speed bumps and outside. He's like, all the other guys, I know they did some too. He's like, but I know that one was yours. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I did it. He's like, and I saw it went out on the street. And I was like, yep, it did, it was a long one. And he was like, I had no idea that car would lay rubber like that. And I was like, me neither. He's like, don't do that again. And I said, okay, I won't, Charlie, I won't. But that was about it. That's the way he treated me. He should have like thrown the book at me and got me suspended and stuff like that. But he knew that that wasn't going to do anything. That wouldn't have helped me at all. That would just, I don't know, it wouldn't have stopped me. But he appealed to me in the way, he was a great teacher. I learned an awful lot from him about life and about growing up and stuff. Although I'm still only 15 in my head, but I learned an awful lot from him. He was a great mentor. Which brings me to another point, kids. It's important to pay attention to people that have some years on you. Not everybody, because a lot of them are weirdos and kooks. But I mean, there are some that they'll treat you with respect and they'll respect you and you should respect them. And listen to what they tell you. You know, especially the old guy that's like peeling an apple with a buck knife or whatever and eats it off the knife. But that guy tells you, you know, you probably should listen to. You know, I mean, I think I saw that somewhere. Somebody wrote that down, but it made sense to me. Well, here we are, South Kihei Road. We've got a few little bit to go to get to Phyllis's nephew's place, Maui Tattoo and Piercing. And I want to say thank you again to Iron Horse Garage. There's a little funny story about this shirt, by the way. So they mailed it to me in August, way before my birthday. And I found it last week. They asked me, Will, to send me a thing, hey, did you find the package yet? And I'm like, nope, I have no idea what you're talking about. It never showed up here. And I looked all over the place for it, everywhere. What was really funny was, I was in my office editing some stuff, and I looked over on a table next to my desk, and I saw like a flat rate box that had something in it I bought from Mutton Hollow Chevrolet, something for this car that I need for a future thing that I haven't put on yet, and it was really cheap. I bought it on sale. I forget what it was. Might have been like license plate light or something, because I'm going to change this bumper for George because he's harassing me. And to be fair, he gave me the bumper, so I should change it instead of just making him suffer. But anyway, on top of this box is a dark gray bag. That's like, it came in the mail, obviously, and I was like, well, that's not a normal bag that I would normally get the mail packages in. That's a weird bag. I didn't recognize it. And I looked and it did have a shipping label, and guess what the shipping label said? That's right, Iron Horse Garage, and it was in August. So that thing has been sitting on my desk on top of a pile of parts and other boxes for a while. And this whole time I said, I have no idea where it is. I never saw it. By the way, this road coming up here, my Maui dive shop. That's where I go left to go up and work on that 41 Ford truck, is up in the industrial complex up here. Right up this road right here, right there. It's actually a good pizza parlor right there. Pizza madness. Yeah, so I got this shirt. They sent me this shirt and some stickers. In fact, I got a lot of stickers from you guys. I just haven't decided what to do with them. I'm afraid to put them on the car because if I do any stuff to the car, the bodywork, then I'll lose those stickers. And I cherish them. I want to keep them. Anything you guys send me, I hold it near and dear, and I'm kind of protective of it. So I don't really want to do it. I don't know if my toolbox has enough room for all that stuff. So I'm trying to think of someplace I could put it and keep them. In the meantime, I just sit there and I have them all, so I thumb through them and look at them all the time when I'm editing, because they're right there on my desk in the envelope. And I have a bunch of other decals of Moroso and Krager and stuff like that. I was gonna do this car as the black and white car that's junior stock in the end of my videos. I was gonna do it like that, all lettered up and stuff, like with my company name. But the more I look at stuff like that, the more I think, I don't know that I really want to letter this car. This car it almost looks like, if it was yellow, it would look an awful lot like Project X without the flared fenders. It doesn't really look like a superstar or a junior stock car, and it's not a gasser. It's kind of its own thing. Oh, guess what, kids? We're coming up on the location. We're getting there. Starbucks and Stu's Burgers. This is one of the parks, Kalama parks. They call them Cam 1, Cam 2, Cam 3 for Kalama. There's the food land. This here is the triangle. This here is the Kalama Village. Now, if I remember correctly, that place is, the tattoo parlor is not here, it's right here. I'm going in here. I'm going in. It's in here. You guys can't see it. I'm looking for it. I think it's over here on the right. If I remember right, there's a tattoo parlor right here. Is this it? There it is. Maui Tattoo Company. There it is. Are we gonna get to park here? We are. I'm gonna park right there.
That's awesome.
Maui Tattoo Company. Oh, kids. Ooh, she's pulling out right where I want to go. Look at this Bud Light truck. That Bud Light truck. I'm gonna go right there. No, reverse. R is for race. Yeah, we're gonna go right there in that spot. Hold on. Go ahead. Oops, wrong gear. First gear. No, first gear. That's where we want, right here. Look at this. Ooh, yeah, Maui Tattoo Company. This is it. Tattoo and piercing. This is the place. I'm gonna go in there. I'll be right back. And scene again. All right, everybody. So here we are, sitting in front of Maui Tattoo Company. Tattoo and piercing. That's the number, 874-0034-808. They are a super cool bunch of people. Craig and his wife own this. 2004 they started it, and it's pretty cool. I will put up a bunch of pictures of it that I took, and maybe I'll put a little music to it, something, I don't know. But we'll see. But Phyllis, thank you very much for reaching out to me and asking me to do this, and thanks for going along and watching it. This has been really fun, which brings me up to another point. There's a lot of places to go on this map of Maui, and there's a lot of places that, I don't ever think about because I see them all the time. Maybe I don't know about them. If you guys want to go see someplace different, or if you're looking at the map, you say, hey, drive from here to here, let me know. Pick a spot. Let's go do it. Let's plan a trip. Because that will help me plan my trip for the mainland that's coming next summer. If I can make that work, which I guess I have to make it work now. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. Today was like 920. Holy moly, that's a lot of people watching. I can't imagine. So now I kind of got to do it, right? So I'm gonna do it. But thank you again, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for the rides. I will get better at editing and better with more cameras. My dream is to have this thing littered with cameras so you can see all sorts of stuff, different angles. I don't know exactly how to make all that work in the editing the way the professionals do, but, you know, I'll figure it out, I guess. I want to figure it out. I want to figure out how to do like some of that, you know, where it blends stuff together and, you know, where it's not just like scene, chop, you know, I'm going to figure all that stuff out. Anyway, I'm having a good time. Thanks again. Good to see you, Phyllis. Or, really, didn't see it, Phyllis, but good to, I'm glad I got to do this. Thanks for giving me a place to go drive to. And I got to meet some cool people in there. It's really cool. There's some customers and there's some tourists in there getting a bunch of tattoos. They're sitting right there at the thing. I was careful not to show anybody's pictures or faces or whatever. And if you look at one of the pictures, you'll see that there is a, it's an original in a frame that I zoomed in on. Craig actually drew that. I don't know if that's the original one. That might be a reprint, but that's his drawing. So it's pretty cool. Let's go find somewhere else, shall we? You guys pick the next destination. Don't forget your questions for a car quiz, and I'll think of some more stories. There's a lot of stories. I'll see you guys later. Aloha. Place is super awesome. All right, kids. There you go, Phyllis. That's the place right there.